pick up Puka Nacua. I mean, he's 3% rostered. I just looked it up. It's Puka Nacua.
Okay, why is everyone saying Puka Nacua? Yeah,
and it is Nacua.
So it's Puka Nacua. So each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky waiver wire ads that you can pick up and add to your roster this week heading into week 2. I'm Alan Seslowsky of RotoWire.com along with Jeff Erickson. And watch this video until the end for a couple bonus sneaky ads. Jeff, who's going to be your first sneaky ad heading into week 2?
Josh Kelley from the Chargers got 16 carries, was on the field a ton yesterday in the shootout against the Dolphins. He won't always get 16 carries. Austin Eckler, clearly the lead back, but this seems like an offense that Kellen Moore is going to support 2 running backs with. I worry a little bit about Kelley. He's not going to, in a PPR league, he's not going to get you catches. I mean, that is one thing that's going to hurt you. But this is a great run blocking line. It's a team that is going to run the ball quite a bit. How many other teams have a clear, handcuff running back, number 2 running back, with a great run blocking offensive line in a good offense?
Yeah, in the preseason, we were all thinking Isaiah Spiller, but it's clear that Josh Kelley, and we've tried it a couple times in a row, and it hasn't worked out, but that's why he's available. So if anyone's looking back saying, we've seen this before, that's why I think it qualifies as a really good sneaky ad, like an aggressive sneaky ad. Like, what percentage of fab to get him?
7 to 8%, because there's no injury to Eckler right now.
I think you're going to need to go 15 to 18 to get him. I think you're going to be surprised at how aggressive people are on him. J.K. Dobbins is out for the rest of the season. Ouch. And Justice Hill, who I dropped in all of my dynasty leagues, Jeff, 3 years ago, gets 2 rushing touchdowns. He's a very reasonable ad this week, but it's going to be expensive. Gus Edwards is the nice pivot. The sneaky ad here, Jeff, is Melvin Gordon. Remember him? He was signed to the Ravens over the summer, cut, and then signed back to the practice squad. The Ravens are already talking about calling him up to the 53, and we've seen the Ravens go this direction before with proven vets. You may not get clarity on Melvin Gordon's role for next week, but he should be a useful fantasy player as more injuries mount up. I'm sneaking Melvin Gordon onto my roster this week for free. Nacua.
Everyone rightfully is going to rush out to pick up Puka Nacua, and you should, because his target share is ridiculous. Don't ignore Tutu Atwell. I made the mistake of doing that. I added him belatedly in the value meter rankings last week when I saw that he was going to be the Rams number 2. I did have Nacua in there. The funny part is Van Jefferson, everyone thought was going to be the number 1 guy, was kind of just melted away. But Atwell was on the field for 79% of the snaps. They were putting him in motion. They were freeing him up. They were trying to do things, trying to use his skills. So go get Tutu Atwell too.
Yep, I am too going to sneak Tiny Tutu onto my roster as well. My next sneaky ad, down goes one of my most drafted players, Pittsburgh Steelers' Deontay Johnson. Looks like a multi-week hamstring injury, Jeff, who did have 6 targets before he left the game. Second-year wide receiver George Pickens is a trendy name in your drafts this year and didn't do much in this game versus the 49ers. We are recommending you sneak second-year speedster Calvin Austin of the Pittsburgh Steelers onto your roster, who caught all 6 of his targets for only 37 yards. Austin was the fastest wide receiver at the Combine last year, then missed all of 2022 with an injury. The Steelers are going to need him. They've already showed confidence in targeting him. The big bets will be on Puka Nacua, as you just said. Make sure you lay down $1 or 2 on Calvin Austin.
What do you think about Allen Robinson in that mix too?
Nobody's going to want him. So, yeah sure.
Maybe a red zone target. I don't want him either, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'd rather gamble on Austin, but
that's the sneaky ad, though, because you're going to get a what if, right? I mean, that is a good tag on to what I said. In fact, Allen Robinson's probably the higher floor.
Probably. My last guy is Josh Reynolds from the Detroit Lions. 20% target share in week 1. We saw that against the Chiefs. Now, granted, it was a great matchup against the Chiefs. Guess who he draws in week 2? Home matchup against Seattle. Do you remember Detroit versus Seattle last year? Ticket to the Carnival. Seattle, we were just talking about these Rams receivers that went crazy against the Seahawks in week 1. Well, guess what? Now it's the Lions' turn, and Reynolds is nominally the number 2 wide receiver on the Lions. And he might be even after Jameson Williams comes back. Jameson Williams, everyone loves the idea of Jameson Williams, but we haven't really seen any proof that he's ready. He had the 1 preseason game, got hurt. In training camp, they're talking about how he needs to work on catching the ball, and he lost all these valuable reps. Reynolds, I think, has more juice than Marvin Jones. He got the snap share, the target share. I think he's a guy you could use right now.
Those who spent an early pick on a name brand tight end are off to a bad start. In week 1, Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews did not play. Darren Waller didn't pay off. Dallas Goedert goose-egged. And TJ Hawkinson, he had a modest game. Hayden Hurst of the Panthers was the tight end 2 overall in week 1, catching 5 of 7 targets for 41 yards and a touchdown. Some may dismiss this as a player that you'll never be able to predict, but friend of this show, Cody Carpentier, had his boots on the ground in Panthers camp and came out saying that this offense is going to flow through Hayden Hurst. He's a bit more obvious because of his production, but I think you could be a little bit more aggressive with him in order to land him. And since you watched this video until the end, here's a bonus sneaky ad. Adam Trautman is a Denver Bronco and is one of Sean Payton's guys. Trautman caught all 5 of his targets for only 34 yards, but keep in mind, Greg Dulcich, the starter, was injured and did not return. As the Broncos' offense continues to find its footing, Trautman isn't a guarantee, but he's going to be a full-time player. If you enjoy videos like this, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications when RotoWire puts up new video content every day. And right now, you can get behind RotoWire's paywall for free. Just go to rotowire.com/try.